What's up, guys? I know I said I was going to do the total drama characters in this video, but I decided to talk about the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man No Way Home, instead. And of course, this video has spoilers, so don't watch this video if you don't want to get spoiled. In this video, I am going to explain why I think Spider-Man Far From Home was a better movie than Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, so I recently watched the new Spider-Man No Way Home movie at home on my computer, and because of COVID, I couldn't see it in cinema, so I saw it at home instead, which worked pretty well. I didn't get the same feeling as in cinema, but whatever. I found the movie and I saw it, and it was decent. I will not say it was super good, because, as I said, I think Far From Home is a better option, in my opinion, because... Okay, so I'm just going to come up with some points of view for why I think Far From Home was a better movie than No Way Home. Okay, so first of all, I watched the Spider-Man Far From Home movie with an old friend of me when it was released in 2019. I think I saw it in August or something. It was released in July 2019, and I saw it in August 2019 at the cinema. And one of the reasons why I think Far From Home was better is because it had a better opening, with the fact that you could see it in the cinema in whatever country you lived in. And now with No Way Home, it's only out in, I think, the Americas or something. So in Europe, you can't see it in cinema because of COVID. So I think Far From Home had a way better opening, with the fact that everyone could see it in cinema. Of course, people in the US and Canada can watch this movie with a normal cinema experience and all that, but I still think they have to follow some COVID restrictions, and it's not the same, you know. Far From Home came out in 2019, which was a normal year, but while No Way Home came out in 2021, even delayed. It was supposed to come 16 July, but it came 17 December or something. And that's almost a half a year, right? So the whole system is fucked. The whole cinema system is fucked. And it's very sad, because I was really looking forward for this movie, you know, when it was supposed to be released in July, but then they just delayed it for some reason. Well, it was actually supposed to come out in 2020, I think. I don't know, whatever. The fact is that I think... Well, this is of course my opinion. Some people could disagree, but I think Far From Home had a way better introduction and the opening in the cinemas, and that's one of the reasons why I think Far From Home is a way better movie in general than No Way Home. Okay, so number 2 is that I think Far From Home had a way better plot than No Way Home. No Way Home, the problem with No Way Home is that it's very chaotic. It's too many characters to follow up with, and sometimes you have no clue what's going on. And it's jumping very much back and forth in time. In some scenes you are with Doctor Strange, some scenes with Dr. Octopus, some scenes with Spider-Man, some scenes with MJ and Ned, which was a duo in this movie. They worked together. And it was too much back and forth between the characters, time, yada yada yada, and it was too much. While Far From Home was a way better structure They started like with the start in New Mexico, I think, with Mysterio when Nick Fury and them met Mysterio. And then the whole focus was on Spider-Man on this Europe trip. And Spider-Man Far From Home had this very good, smooth throughout the whole movie where we followed Spider-Man and his class on this Europe trip, country to country. And it was so good. I loved Far From Home. It was actually one of my favorite movies in the whole MCU with Infinity War and Endgame. So yeah, it's actually my third favorite movie after Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War, of course, being my first one, and then Endgame, and then Far From Home, and then I think it's Ragnarok or something. But anyway, back to the focus. So I think Far From Home did a way better job with the plot. Far From Home had a way better plot with Mysterio and the elements, and Mysterio who wanted to take over the world with the drones and stuff, and the elementals being fake. And I just love the whole idea of the Europe trip that traveled to Italy, England, France, Czech Republic, and Austria. I really think Far From Home was a very, very good movie, and you should totally see it. And then you go back to No Way Home, where you have this structure of jumping from character to character, from character to character, to time, to another dimension. Like when I watched the movie, I completely got lost. When I started watching movie, I said, okay, this looks like a good movie and stuff. And then when I got through the movie, I began to be a little skeptical because like I got so lost at some times throughout the movie. Like I didn't even know what was happening on the screen, and I didn't even know which time I was in. If I were after Endgame, before Endgame, if I was before the first Avengers movie. Like I was completely lost. Yeah, so that sums up the second reason for why I think Spider-Man Far From Home was a way better movie than No Way Home, and that is because the plot of Far From Home was better. Okay, third reason. Far From Home had a better villain, in my opinion. I think Mysterio might be the best Spider-Man villain in the whole MCU. I know Vulture was also good, but I think Mysterio did the best job as a Spider-Man villain. The reason I think Mysterio was the best Spider-Man villain in the MCU, that means he was better than Vulture in Homecoming and better than Dr. Octopus in No Way Home. The reason I think Mysterio was the best one out of those three is because he had the best personality and the best like villain style, in my opinion. I really like the idea with the drones, and that Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, found out that the elementals were fake by finding one of the drones. And I really like the idea of like the drones being the elementals, with of course Mysterio getting help from the guy in Iron Man 1 who got fired or something. He managed these drones on his computer, and I just loved Mysterio as a villain, and his powers were also very cool. And it was this funny interview with Jacob, which is the actor who played Mysterio, and that he when Kevin or Marvel Studios, when they said to him that he should stretch out his hands, he looked pathetic, and it was a very funny interview. And I think also Jacob was the best actor to play Spider-Man villain, by the way. Another reason for Mysterio being the best villain is because he had the best ending or death scene, in my opinion, like with the whole thing with Peter eliminating the drones, and then Mysterio got shot, I think, there's some times since I saw Far From Home, but I think it was something like that. That Peter shut down the drones. Of course, Mysterio played this secret message revealing that Spider-Man's real name is Peter Parker. And Vulture didn't die. The guy who was Vulture in Homecoming, he got in prison, of course. And Dr. Octopus, like, he didn't actually die too. He just was sent to his own dimension or something. I don't know, the ending of No Way Home was so weird and confusing, which is one of the reasons why No Way Home is not one of the best movies in the MCU. As I said in the start, I'm actually pretty disappointed over No Way Home. I thought it was supposed to be a better movie. Of course, it was decent. Like, it had these cool characters like Doctor Strange, Doctor Octopus, and the return of MJ and Ned. But it started to be too many characters when when Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire came to play. Or came to the screen, and their villains came, and it was just a chaotic movie jumping from villain to villain, character to character, time to time. It was too much. Some people will completely disagree with me, and that's completely okay. This is just my opinion. The whole video is just my opinion, just talking about these movies, which and I am trying to hold focus on No Way Home and Far From Home, but of course I'm going to mention Homecoming because it's a part of the trilogy. It's the first movie of the trilogy. You have the Spider-Man MCU trilogy with Spider-Man Homecoming be the first movie, and then Far From Home the second, and then No Way Home finishing it up as the last movie in the trilogy. Yeah, that's Mysterio. Okay, before going to the fourth reason for why Far From Home is better than No Way Home, I just want to mention one good thing with No Way Home. The start is actually very good because it introduced to us what happened in the last movie, Far From Home. That Mysterio revealed Peter Parker's identity and all that. And I think that's a very good thing. I'm going to give No Way Home that. I think that's actually a very good thing they did. Because let's say people watch No Way Home which have not watched Far From Home. Then they don't know what happened in Far From Home, right? Because they didn't see it. So then like they get the introduction, like a short intro for what happened in the end of Far From Home. So I think that's actually a very good thing they did in No Way Home. So I'm going to give No Way Home that point. But other than that, it's such a chaotic movie, man. Like, sure, watch it at the cinema when it comes out in whatever country you live in. But I still think in this day that Homecoming and Far From Home is better. With Homecoming, of course, being such a good introduction to this trilogy and a very good movie with a good plot, good villain good villain twist actually, because Spider-Man actually dated the daughter of the villain in Homecoming, and of course R-Man being the guest character as this badass guest character, and I just love Homecoming, man. I watched it in 2017 with my family in Greece on the outside cinema, and it was awesome. Really was good memories. But of course, I can talk about Homecoming when I'm going to rank all the movies. I'm going to talk about Homecoming and why Homecoming is such a good Spider-Man movie, because it really is. It's really great. Okay, so back to the fourth reason for why Far From Home is a better movie than No Way Home, in my opinion. But remember that I don't think Far From Home is way, way, way better than No Way Home. Like, these three movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, they are very similar movies and have the same actors. And some kind of this, I will not say the same plot, but it's some similarities in the plot too, with Peter trying to save the day, and then a villain comes, and then he wins, and then the end, right? Well, it's not like that. Of course, each movie have their thing. With Homecoming being this, with Homecoming having this school prom, Far From Home, the Euro trip, and No Way Home, the multiverse. So I'm going to repeat that. The thing Homecoming had was the school prom. The thing Far From Home had was the Europe trip. And the thing No Way Home had was the multiverse. In my opinion, the Euro trip was the best thing. And that is what my fourth reason is. Far From Home had the best type of movie, with this thing being a school trip to Europe. Multiverse didn't work at all. It was a terrible idea. I don't understand why they went with multiverse. Didn't give any sense, man. It was just chaotic, and I couldn't even follow with what was going on the screen. In the Euro trip, it was so easy to just follow this class, man. They did it so easy, and it was so good to just watch it at cinema, while COVID fucking up my experience with No Way Home, even making it worse than it should have been. Like, it's actually very sad, you know. I was so looking forward to see No Way Home in cinema, but of course COVID fucked it up. But sorry, that was reason 1. I'm talking of reason 4, of course, which being that Far From Home had the best like thing that with thing I mean type of movie. You have different type. You have travel, you have adventure, you have multiverse, and of course you have prom, you have horror. Like, you have different type of movies, right? Far From Home was an action a travel kind of school trip movie, and it was so good, man. As I said, Far From Home is one of the best movies in the MCU. You should totally watch it if you haven't seen it. It's super great. It's so good. And funny too, like the whole thing with the drones, and of course our Spider-Man getting Edith and giving it to Mysterio, like so good, man. Everything with this movie is good. There is not one bad thing with Far From Home I can come up with. It's a great movie. Like, I don't want to hate on No Way Home. Don't take me wrong, No Way Home, it's a good movie. It's just not as good as Far From Home. That's my point. Far From Home is better. Okay, I think you guys have I think you guys got my point. I think you guys got my meaning of these movies now. But yeah, so that sums it up. Fourth reason was the school trip. I really loved them visiting Venice, Italy, and then I think it was Praha, Czech Republic. It was Germany, right? Netherlands, England, London, and Austria, the Alps or something. They travel with the bus throughout the Alps. So yeah, that was the last reason, actually. I had 4 reasons for why Far From Home was I will not say way better movie, but a better movie than Spider-Man No Way Home. I hope you guys liked the video. Like, I know so many people are going to disagree with me in this one. So comment down below, which one do you think is the best one? Do you think Spider-Man Far From Home is the best one? Or do you think Spider-Man No Way Home is the best one? Comment down below. I'm curious to see which movie you guys like the most, and which movie is going to get the most votes. I'm going to let Homecoming be outside of this poll because this movie had focus on Far From Home and No Way Home. But as I said throughout the movie, that I was going to mention Homecoming, and I of course mentioned the Homecoming and some of the movie, but I'm going to get back to Homecoming when I'm going to rank all the MCU movies. So don't worry, guys. For you Spider-Man Homecoming fans out there, I know there are plenty of Homecoming fans out there. Don't worry, I'm going to talk about Homecoming when I'm going to rank all the MCU movies. Okay, now you got my opinion on the MCU Spider-Man movies. So, yeah, be sure to like if you liked the video. And again, the whole video and the whole and everything I said in this video is just my opinion, okay? So don't come up with hate comments, please, because this is just my opinion. I know a ton of people are going to disagree, and some people are going to agree. Yeah, hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you in the next one. Next video, I will be ranking the total drama characters. So in the next video, I will get back to total drama. Okay? So you guys know, for the total drama fans out there, in the next video, I'm going to talk about total drama again. And after that, after the characters, I'm going to do the villains. So be sure to check out the next videos I'm going to post. There are going to be some videos coming up on the channel in the next month, so be sure to follow up with that. And other than that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and this is the last video of this year, 2021. I am coming back in 2022, stronger than ever. So yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, enjoy your holidays, be sure to spend time with your family, eat good food, and open some gifts. Like, just have a great Christmas, man. And I'm seeing you guys in the next year. Goodbye. Far from